Ops Kids 1, the Blue £1 billion Bottlejobs 0. That was the full-time score yesterday at Wembley in the Carabao Cup final as Chelsea threw it away in extra time. They were in control for the 90. They had massive chances, but they just couldn't hit a barn door. They couldn't finish their dinner. And in extra time, they had no identity like Jason Bourne and crumbled like a chocolate digestive in a milky tea. Fair play to Jurgen Klopp and fair play to Liverpool. They got over the line. Those young players showed so much heart, as I say, and they were so brave in possession, especially in extra time. But it was all in Chelsea's hands. You're playing Liverpool's third team. Forget where Liverpool are in the table. You're playing their academy. And they completely dropped off in extra time. It was like they were sitting back and waiting for penalties. And they were punished by Virgil van Dijk, who in my opinion was man of the match yesterday. What a player he is. And as I say, fair play to Liverpool. But Chelsea completely and utterly bottled that final yesterday. Forget, where they are in the table compared to Liverpool. When you look at the circumstances yesterday, the fact that Liverpool were missing Trent, Mohamed Salah, Szoboszlai, Thiago, so many of their top players, Darwin Núñez, and then Gravenberch had to come off. As I say, they brought on 3 or 4 youngsters who most of us had never heard of. The fact they had that team playing in extra time and went on to score the winner and dominate those 30 minutes, it shows how bad that Chelsea team were yesterday. It really does. It really does. And look, the reason I wanted to come on here and make a video about yesterday's final is because Bottlejobs is a phrase that gets thrown at us as Spurs fans a lot. It is, right? War a trophy, Bottlejobs, all of that. And okay, I'll give you the trophy one. We haven't been a successful team recently whatsoever. But Bottlejobs, let's look at the, ones that are thrown at us when it comes to bottling. People talk about that league title against Leicester. Okay, first off, we were never top. How can we bottle a league if we were never in control of it? Makes 0 sense, doesn't it? It seems like some people just want this narrative of Tottenham not being successful and throwing stuff away. Okay, you can have the one about us not being successful, but throwing stuff away? Really? How do we bottle the league if we weren't at the top of it at any point during the season? The season later we weren't at the top. Chelsea won it. We weren't at the top. And then the Champions League final, you threw it away in the biggest game in your club's history. Hang on a second. We had a horrendous decision go Liverpool's way 45 seconds into the game, where if it doesn't, it could be very, very different. Sucked all of the life out of that Spurs team. And yes, we should have bounced back a little bit better, but bottling it. We lost 2-0 to a full-strength Liverpool team in the Champions League final, who had just beat Barcelona 4-0 in the semis. Yesterday is what you call bottling it. And Gary Neville is absolutely spot on. £1 billion spent on that Chelsea squad, and they couldn't get over the line against Liverpool's reserves and youth team. In control of the game, sat back, lost in the 127th minute in the dying embers. That is what you call bottling. So Chelsea fans, you can stop throwing the Bottlejobs phrase at us. You can keep doing the Warrior Trophy if you want. You're a bunch of 15-year-olds. We've heard it so many times. But you can stop throwing the other one at us. You can stop throwing the Bottlejobs at us. Because if I'm wrong, right, correct me, that's 6 domestic finals you've lost in a row now. 3 in a row to the same team. 2 on penalties, right? Want to talk about bottling? Okay, you lost 2 penalty shootouts, but we'll forget those. And yesterday, big chance after big chance. Had Liverpool hanging on towards the end of the 90. In full control, playing better football. Liverpool had spells in the game, but Chelsea were the better team. Full strength squad, a squad worth £1 billion. Liverpool's squad in extra time wasn't even worth 100 million. Yet they were the ones who went on to get the win. They were the ones who stepped up. Actually, it probably is a bit more than 100 million, but you get my point. Nowhere near £1 billion. Their reserves, their youth team playing, and they stepped up. Chelsea have been a horrendous side this season under Mauricio Pochettino. And what I hear some Chelsea fans saying is, it's a project. You know that as Spurs fans. Yeah, we do. Us and Chelsea, we're both in phase 1 of a rebuild, right? Things are going to take time to click. But they should be clicking a little bit quicker when you've spent £1 billion. We've spent arguably like 750 to 800 million less than Chelsea in our rebuild. And yet we're 12 points clear of them. I get that, okay, Things are going to take time to click. It's a rebuild. But you're Chelsea Football Club. Where have your standards gone? Even I'll say this, right? Growing up, Chelsea have been a very successful team that I've been jealous of. But over the last few years, they've been nothing but weak-minded bottle jobs. They have. I'm not going to beat around the bush. The Chelsea team under Mourinho and even under Tuchel a few years ago were scary sides. But since then, the Chelsea under Potter, the Chelsea under Lampard, the Chelsea under Pochettino, you want to play them. You want to play them. I mean, this Chelsea team this season, 12 points off us. We're both in phase 1 of a rebuild and they've spent £1 billion. £1 billion. I get you're in a rebuild, right? But £1 billion. Yesterday showed that it's not all about money in football. It's about getting a team mentality. It's about momentum. And it's about instilling a way of playing. Chelsea haven't got that. Maybe it comes over time, but they should be getting it quicker than the Spurs or other teams should be in their rebuilds because they've spent a ridiculous amount of money. And it's still not clicking yet. We should at least see some real good signs from Chelsea. We're not. They're not good enough this season to get European football. They won't get European football in my opinion. And yesterday they completely and utterly bottled it. And I find that funny because that's a phrase they've levelled at us so often. That's 6 domestic cup finals in a row that they've lost. Yesterday they couldn't beat Liverpool's kids in extra time when they had control over the game. They were the ones who bottled it. I think they're the new Bottlejobs, to be honest, now if you want to throw that childish phrase at anyone. But look guys, I've come on here. I've said my piece. Comment your thoughts down below on yesterday's final. Do you think Chelsea are bigger bottlers than Tottenham? Thank you for watching. Take care of yourselves. All the best. Have a smashing rest of your day. And as always, Common You Spurs. Enoch and Levy out. In Big Ange, we trust.